Welcome to Weekend Plans, where we show you the best new games, movies, and TV shows to check out this week. Vin Diesel stars in the new sci-fi action movie Bloodshot, based on the Valiant comic series of the same name. It's kind of like a cross between The $6 Million Man and Total Recall, with Diesel playing a former soldier who, after being killed in battle, is brought back to life using futuristic nanotechnology that gives him superhuman strength and abilities.
It will not only make you stronger, it will heal you instantly.
The only problem is that the shady government organization behind it might have ulterior motives and is manipulating him for their own sinister ends. Expect plenty of CGI action and violence. Vin Diesel has struggled to recreate the same box office success that he's had with his biggest franchise, The Fast and the Furious, so he and distributor Sony Pictures are hoping Bloodshot will be the start of an entire series of films. If you're looking for an action movie that's a little less bloody, Dave Bautista stars in the action comedy My Spy. He plays a CIA operative who, through a comical misadventure, finds himself at the mercy of his most formidable foe yet, a precocious 9-year-old girl. That means you can expect a mix of explosive mayhem and heartstring-pulling comedy, similar to franchises like, say, Guardians of the Galaxy. Bautista has already proven his comedy chops in that series, so we're curious to see how he fares in something more down-to-earth. Audiences should note that My Spy is hitting Canadian theaters this weekend, but in the United States, the release date has been pushed back a month amidst fears of a certain virus. If you want to avoid public spaces like movie theaters altogether, then why not stay inside with a good video game? Ori and the Will of the Wisps is the highly anticipated follow-up to 2015's award-winning platformer Ori and the Blind Forest. This time around, the White Guardian spirit Ori goes on a new adventure beyond the Forest of Nibel with loads of whimsical new characters and locations to discover. The upgrade system from the first game has been upgraded itself and will now give players more freedom to decide what skills and abilities they upgrade and when. Another change this time around is that there will be auto-saves rather than the cumbersome Soul Link save system from the last game. One thing that hasn't changed is the Microsoft exclusivity. Ori and the Will of the Wisps will only be available on the Xbox One and Windows. Console exclusivity hasn't struck out of the MLB The Show series just yet either. MLB The Show 20 is Sony's latest entry in their Major League Baseball series, and the last one being made exclusively for the PlayStation 4. You know the drill, players will get all the MLB teams and players recreated in stunning detail for one of the most realistic baseball experiences you can get, short of actually going to a real-life game. As for what's new, this is the first time minor league baseball is being fully featured, with Sony licensing all the real-life players rather than just using generic player models like the previous games. Looking ahead, the show is going multi-platform. Starting next year, it will be available on non-Sony consoles from rivals like Microsoft and Nintendo, not to mention the upcoming PlayStation 5. I guess you could say they'll have all their bases covered. Team Ninja is taking players to a fantastical version of feudal Japan with Nioh 2, a sequel to their 2017 action RPG. Players will once again create their own playable character, a samurai who is imbued with the spirit of the supernatural yokai ghosts from Japanese mythology. That's a fancy way of saying that your character will have all kinds of cool supernatural abilities alongside traditional samurai sword fighting mechanics, a combination that helped make the first game such a hit. Public beta tests for Nioh 2 actually started rolling out last year, and Team Ninja has made several big tweaks to the game mechanics since then, so fans will likely notice a few changes when they start playing the final version. Unfortunately, your progress from the betas won't carry over to the final game, so you'll be starting the adventure from scratch.
Nioh Hideyoshi to seo.
That's it for this edition of Weekend Plans, but make sure you keep your eyes locked right here for next week's movies, games, and TV shows to check out.